Welcome to your magic moon message. This is your host, the Peace Dealer. I have yet to get my hair cut and look fresh on y'all. But the moon is in Aquarius, the sun is in Scorpio, and I want to talk to you guys about the secret of Three Eye Atlas, this interstellar comic. As you know, October 29th and October 30th, it's going to be the closest in AU it'll ever be to the sun, with the sun being in a solar maximum and the earth having low frequency. So here's the secret about this. Psych, I know absolutely nothing about that shit. I'm not going to tell you anything about, I don't know anything about any of that. In fact, I need to brush up on my astronomy, actually. But I will talk to you about the 90-degree integration circuit the moon is making with the sun and why this is one of the last bastions of this old world that is currently crumbling in front of your face before we start this new cycle of late March of 2026. I dub this the supernatural integration, awakening deeper wisdom within you, tying in the collective humanity relative to this transformative social awareness that by this time next year will have you integrating how you interface it as we start a whole new world. Think you left your old label and next year you have an independent label. And unlike this year where you're like, oh yeah, this is my last album, don't even stream that shit. Like, so a lot of y'all gonna feel like Dave Chappelle telling people, like, don't watch, if you support me, don't watch the Chappelle show. Versus next year, you have your own network, and now, like, the way you interface it, you're building new stuff. That's next year, though. Aquarius is supernatural, whereas Taurus is natural. Natural energy with Taurus, pure energy with Scorpio, solar energy with Leo, cosmic energy with Aquarius. Aquarius representing knowledge, science. I see Aquarius as existing out of this world, out of the bounds of our third dimensional consciousness. And with another 28-day cycle, Moon-Pluto conjunction, what you may begin to awaken to at a deeper level is that at a collective unconscious sense, the entire world and universe is opening up to you to interconnect everybody being you pushed out, like you are everybody else pushed out for other people. So you may not be aware of how stuff you've done years ago or recently is helping somebody right now and get through the darkest person of their darkest part of their life. Whereas someone doesn't even know they did or is aware is helping you. Given technology, we're in a position where we're able to use all of our resources to help each other and hopefully not hurt and kill each other with greater mass shootings and war and all that other good jazz. This third dimensional cross section that we now may entertain contains many different third dimensional cross sections that could allude to a fourth dimensional reality across space-time, which with a transit like this may have you tap into all the potentiality and possibilities of who you can be right now in this moment, experiencing everything happening at once, blah, 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 jargon. Namely, the moon in Aquarius is going to reveal a supernatural, cosmic, knowledgeable understanding universally that is the foundation of wisdom that is currently transforming your awareness, tying you together with the rest of the world / universe while possibly just being in your own space or in front of your phone. Look forward to glitches in the matrix that tap you into other parts of self existing simultaneously in different what the fuck was that? So weird. Mercury has finally crossed over into the realm of Sagittarianism, and opposite Uranus and Gemini. This not only triggers 180 degrees of breakthrough between this radical innovation of your thought process and now Mercury as a brain processing input and output, showing you the higher meaning of what these ideas actually mean, but simultaneously with this 300-degree sextile to Pluto and Aquarius, pretty much showing you how to see into these supernatural dynamics. Please be mindful that moving forward, as your brain continues to process this level of innovation, eventually in a week from now, Mars is going to cross over and you're going to be taking actions that your brain right now ahead of time is showing you what's possible. AKA a lot of random fuckery is afoot. And if you're not careful, especially as the moon goes into Pisces, you will fall for a lot of BS that's just plastered in your face in the moment, persuading you to really give a fuck about, when it could really just be a waste of time. Or it could be a grand realization that changes your whole life forever. Totally not an illusion of choice. It's gonna be just that or the other. I'm really excited about this opposition, though. It's definitely one of the game changers that the retrograde in another week and a half will reevaluate the way you see everything, which I think might coincide with radical new technology or shifts in the economy. I don't know. I'm just putting ideas out there. But remember, Gemini answers what the word is, and Sagittarius shows you what the meaning of the word is in a dictionary. And be mindful that at the end of Scorpio season, everything our brains are beginning to, look higher to process, you will become increasingly aware of after the sun opposes a Uranus retrograded back 29 degrees in a Taurus. We also want to take into account Venus, that over the rest of the week will oppose Chiron in Aries. And I think as this breaks through this self-healing point, it's going to polish up elements of your ego with which you're still not willing to be vulnerable in, or with which you can fully express regardless of what you're standing on, which will break you through in the way you communicate more of yourself to people, and could, put that pizzazz on it, put that swag on it, you know what I mean? Or look weird as fuck. Like, you could do all of the above. As you are transforming your awareness through this Scorpio season of psychoanalysis, diving you deeper into your psyche, let this Mercury transit remind you that what you are aware of is what you bring more of, and you can choose to see more of what you want to bring into your life versus choosing to see how everything can go wrong. You know what I mean? You have to also keep in mind that relative to the South Nodal eclipse we had in September, that represents from September 6 months into the March 2026 eclipse. And by the time we get to late March and start this new world order, that presupposes that with the totality of Saturn in Pisces, literally everything that has to change, North Node Pisces, is going to change within this period so that we can start this new cycle, for better or for worse, late March into April. And now at this critical breakthrough point, especially where we've completed the Sun-Pluto cycle in Scorpio season, this is definitely going to challenge you to really open up your mind, perhaps, to directions you probably never thought you would go into, or things you never believed you would ever entertain ever in your life. Like, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ! What? What? Is that just me, or... Yeah, that's just me. Word of the day is Sagittarianism. Another thing you want to ask freely, it will come in handy. Who asked you? Who asked you? This works really well for unsolicited advice. Here's a variation. Who the fuck asked you? Really? That's gonna come so in handy, it's not even funny. Well, other than that, we do want to take into account an opposition as very significant as this. I don't know if very significant is the right syntax, but who really cares? I love mutable sign introductions. It works to kind of begin to change our perspective as Uranus goes back into fixed Taurus. So yeah, prepare for a massive transformation. But until then, this integration is going to support the wisdom you've activated since, of course, really the power activation of the new moon in Libra. And it's going to supplement a layer and nuance of knowledge to support how you are currently transforming your awareness, socializing with others, diving more intimately with others. And this programmable knowledge is what, as the moon goes into Pisces, it will fully express not only this wisdom, but work to, as we do every 28 days, with the influence of Saturn and Neptune, change and shift your belief systems to align with what you're currently transforming. And the Grand Air Trine, even though it's loose, doesn't hurt either. The moon in Aquarius, the Uranus in Gemini, and Venus in Libra will allow for great communication, or more ease and flow of communication. Really good period to just get out there what you want, to communicate with the people you need to communicate, get ideas out there. And I do mean out there with the Venus in social Libra, to put out there. I'm not going to do it, but you should definitely do it. Look forward to very important hints that will be very clear and hard to miss. Possible World War III previews, or Civil War II. I don't know if you guys are going to cop tickets to see that event. And yes, I do mean event. I mean, the first Civil War was an event. I mean, like, people really camped out to see it. At least this time it'll be on social media. Oh yes, real people die in these things. People die every day, B. I mean, that was very mature. Hopefully we don't ever get into these conflicts. Are you gonna cop tickets? I totally gonna cop tickets. I've always wanted to see one of these things. That being said, you peep the detachment. We're in a new age. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this transit. It's gonna get really weird. Then the moon's gonna go into Scorpio and it's gonna get super strange. And it's gonna get progressively weirder. And I'm a bit of a weirdo myself, so I'm actually excited about this. I don't think you might be, but it's cool. Remember everything you've learned, especially since March of this year. And I think a crucial angle like this, as we're integrating seeds we planted a week ago, will enable you to enjoy the progress and growth as you increasingly experience what it's like to fully break through. Of course, the climax is going to be when we enter the land of Sagittarianism. So let this Mercury give you a sneak peek before retrograde. You guys stay blessed as always. And until next time.